So guys, we're back with another This Week in Destiny breakdown video. This one's very long, so we're just going to jump straight into it. But before we do, as always, if you're going to enjoy this video or find it helpful in any way, if you could leave a like and subscribe to the channel, I would very much appreciate it. But all that said, let's just jump into today's TWID. Starting here with an artifact preview for episode 2. Obviously, the first column, you've got your anti-barrier stuff like anti-barrier scout, overload submachine gun, unstoppable pulse rifle, anti-barrier shotgun, and overload breach grenade launcher. In the second column, you have one with frost. While frost armor is active, stasis weapons gain increased reload speed and stability. Stasis swords gain increased guard resistance. Killing breeze, rapid weapon final blows grant you bonus to mobility. Weapon final blows with the Dark Ether Reaper origin trait count as more than one. Enhanced Ether Generator just increases the benefits of the Dark Ether Reaper origin trait. Then you have Fell the Revenant, deal increased weapon damage to Scorn. Wearing Shade Stalker armor increases the bonus damage. And then Rapid Impacts, dealing damage with a grenade launcher temporarily increases the reload speed of grenade launchers. Moving on to the third column, you have Wind Chill. Rapid stasis weapon precision hits grant you a stack of frost armor. Rapid precision hits from weapons with the Dark Ether Reaper origin trait grant you more stacks of frost armor. And then there's also a boost to this trait where it says dealing stasis weapon damage to a slowed target has a chance to spawn a stasis shard. Then you have Crystalline Converter, where you can gather stasis shards to gain stacks of Crystalline Converter, and then your next powered stasis melee hit creates stasis crystals equal to the number of stacks you have. And then the boost says that stasis weapon final blows after activating your class ability spawn a stasis shard. And then Total Carnage, after finishing a powerful combatant, temporarily gain damage resistance, while you have 2 or more Shade Stalker armor pieces equipped. After finishing a powerful combatant, gain increased temporarily damage resistance and replenished health. Power from Pain, rapid final blows against weakened combatants grant you Devour. Boost, rapidly defeating weakened combatants spawns a Void Breach. Then you have Trace Evidence, rapid precision hits or rapid final blows on targets affected by Jolt or Blind will generate ionic traces, with the boost stating that picking up an ionic trace grants you an armor charge. Next on the fourth column, Armor of Aramis. While frost armor is active, taking critical damage from combatants causes you to emit a freezing burst. Increase radius and strength of this freezing burst with the boost active. Crystalline Autoloader, shattering stasis crystals, releases a shard of ice that damages and slows targets. Boost stating that shattering frozen targets and stasis crystals deals increased damage. Debilitating Wave finishes emit a damaging wave that matches the element of your currently equipped super, with the boost stating that while you have an Arc, Void or Stasis super equipped, the blast applies blind, weaken and slow respectively. And then Concussive Reload, using a grenade launcher to damage a boss, champion or break a combatant's shield weakens them. And then the boost stating that using grenade launchers to damage bosses, champions or to break combatant shields automatically reloads stowed weapons. Retinal Burn, rapid arc weapon precision hits consume an armor charge to blind the target, with the boost stating that blinding a target this way instead emits a blinding burst. And then for the final column here, we have Brain Freeze. Frozen combatants become surrounded by chilling fog, which slows combatants that aren't already slowed. And then weapons with the Dark Ether Reaper origin trait deal more damage to frozen combatants. Supernova, picking up a Void Breach causes your next source of void damage to create a large weakening pulse. Conductive Cosmic Crystal, your arc abilities, void abilities, and weapons with the Dark Ether Reaper origin trait do bonus damage to targets that are affected by a stasis debuff, with a boost stating that it increases bonus damage to combatants affected by a stasis debuff. Served Cold, picking up a stasis shard grants you class ability energy, and picking up a Void Breach grants you melee energy. And then finally, Kinetic Impacts, sustained damage with a power grenade launcher causes the combatant to emit a shockwave that damages nearby combatants. This shockwave can stun unstoppable champions. So that's your breakdown for the artifact this episode. Moving on to exotic armor tuning, there is quite a lot. So I'm just going to go over which ones are actually getting changes, and then you can go ahead and preview yourself what the changes themselves actually are, because there's a lot to get through. So for hunters, you're getting some Lucky Pants, Young Ahamkara's Spine, Blight Ranger, and Raiju Harnessed changes. Alongside that, your exotic class item is going to be getting some changes there as well. For the Titans, Icefall Mantle, Cadmus Ridge Lance Cape, Ursa Furiosa and Spirit of the Bear, Curse of the Falling Star, Peacekeeper's Mask of the Quiet One, and your exotic class item are going to be receiving some changes. And then for Warlocks, you have Balladeer's Wrath Weavers, Skull of Dire Hamkara, Sanguine Alchemy, Verity's Brow, and Spirit of Verity, Cenotaph Mask, Osmiomancy Gloves, and finally Speaker's Sight. Now those are going to be receiving some buffs, some nerfs, some all-around changes. There's a lot more to get through, so we'll just go into some of that stuff. Moving on to Super Damage Exotic Tuning. So, Caress of the Falling Star plus Thunder Crash is being unchanged. Pyro Gale plus Burning Maul is getting a 10% damage buff. Spirit of Star Eaters plus Nova Bomb is getting a 12% nerf. Spirit of Star Eaters and Twilight Arsenal getting a 26% nerf. Spirit of Star Eaters plus Needle Storm alongside Spirit of Star Eaters Gathering Storm is remaining unchanged. And then Celestial Nighthawk Golden Gun is getting a 5% damage nerf versus bosses only. Then they go on to talk about weapon tuning and new mods for Revenant. So weapon archetypes, you have a load of little changes here. So auto rifles, scouts, pulsers, SMGs, sidearms, hand cannons, rebalanced how PvE damage is dealt to slightly prioritize critical hits, increased critical hit damage between 5 to 7% depending on frame, decreased body shot damage between 5 and 7% depending on frame. Pulsers for the heavy burst, they're getting an RPM increase from 300 to 324, but then they're also receiving a damage nerf by 18% for legendary weapons, and then 8% for Graviton Lance and Revision 0. Snipers reduced flinch against combatants by 50%, and reduced camera rule against players by 10%, increased damage against miners by 60%, mages 75%, mini-bosses 35%, and champions 25%. Glaives corrected a small issue. Shotguns minimum damage after fall off has been increased from 0 to 40% for damage versus AI only. Rocket assisted frame sidearms are getting a 25% nerf to their ammo reserves. Really expected this one coming, so shouldn't be all that surprised there. Tracers increased base spawn and crate PvP ammo from 25 to 29. Machine guns on the high impact side, critical hit damage increased by 4%. Heavy ammo grenade launchers decreased damage from the detonation by 5% against combatants, increased projectile impact damage correspondingly globally. In PvE, total damage is the same, just split differently between detonation and impact. In PvP, heavy GLs now deal approximately 7 and 26% more damage depending on the blast radius stat. And then rapid fire frames increased rapid fire frame impact and detonation damage by 7%. Then they go on to talk about micro changes for PvP here for different weapons, and to be honest, they are just, as the title states, micro changes, so like 0.1% damage, nerfs, and buffs. You can read through all these if you would like to. On here, you got the nerfs for adaptive frame hand cannons, autos, and high impact pulses right there, and then buffs to SMGs, autos, high impact autos, precision hand cannons, heavy burst hand cannons, heavy burst pulse rifles, and aggressive scout rifles. Next, in terms of exotic weapons, we get the confirmed changes here for Choir of One. So the base reserves are going down from 250 to 200, and then reduced the maximum reserves from 384 to 300. Reduced impact damage on the point blank projectile by 50%, and increased hipfire projectile damage against players by 10%, and now starts with 7 ammo in Crucible and gains 7 from crates and ammo bricks. Huckleberry is now getting a new catalyst with kinetic tremors and now fully reloads on kill. Caraba, when Ravenous Beast is active, gain damage resistance against incoming solar damage, 50% versus combatants and 15% versus players. Symmetry now gains stacks of dynamic charge on kills in addition to precision hits. Duality on Black Wings stacks from max effect reduced from 5 to 3. Extended duration of buff from 7 seconds to 10 seconds. Bad Juju increased lifetime of String of Curses from 3.5 seconds base to 5.5 seconds base, 7.5 seconds with Catalyst, and increased magazine size from 27 to 36. They also go on to state that this weapon appears to have become more haunted than it used to be. Don't know what that means, but interesting stuff there. Exdirus increased direct hit damage versus combatants by 33%, adjusted recoil and projectile to have much flatter trajectory by doing the following: reduced camera roll from firing by 50%, increased projectile velocity, reduced projectile gravity, plus 5 ammo in reserves, now spawns a Moth on 2 direct hits, and reduced the Moth cooldown from 4 to 3 seconds, shared with the kill trigger. Fighting Lion now spawns a volatile burst on direct hits, And Prospector now spawns 3 powerful cluster bombs on detonation, dealing substantially more damage per shot over a much larger area than previously. Removed sticky grenades, flame grenade, and removed detonation function. Mag size reduced to 6, and bonus ammo reserves on the catalyst changed to plus 50 reload speed. Chaperone added the ability to trigger Roadborne on 2 rapid precision hits. Precision hits with Roadborne active also extend it by 3 seconds, plus 20 stability, plus 25 reload speed while Roadborne is active, and increased base ammo reserves. Lumina updated hipfire projectiles to behave more closely to support auto-rifle healing shots. And then you have weapon perk changes like Slice, Slideways, Ally Mag, Autoloading Holster Reconstruction, Master of Arms, Dawning Origin, and the Iron Reach, Iron Gaze, and Iron Grip perks. You can read all of the micro changes that these things are receiving. Moving on to the next section, they talk about weapon mods, and they're actually introducing a whole load of brand new weapon mods, which are very, very interesting. So, added several new mods. These can be equipped to enhanced or crafted weapons, and the list is starting off with combo stat mod bundles of 2 stats that are plus 6 each. So with ballistics, you'll get plus 6 range and plus 6 stability. With tactical, you'll get enhanced reload speed and handling. Aerodynamics gives you more blast radius and projectile speed. Tension increases draw time and accuracy. Edge, charge rate, and guard resistance. Anti-flinch reduces flinch by 15%. And ammo finder enhancement for special ammo finder enhancement progresses roughly 10% faster per kill with this weapon. Heavy ammo finder enhancement progresses roughly 10% faster with this weapon per kill. Then you have optics mods, allows customization of weapon zoom. So marksman optics affect sniper rifles, linear fusion rifles, scout rifles, bows, machine guns, trace rifles, and rocket launchers, with marksman optics high and low, increasing and decreasing zoom by 2. Then you have CQC optics for hand cannons, pulse rifles, auto rifles, submachine guns, sidearms, fusion rifles, breech loaded grenade launchers, and drum grenade launchers. CQC optics high and low, increasing zoom or decreasing zoom by 1. Then you have Synergy, which escalating chance to spawn a subclass bauble matching the weapon's damage type, with kinetic weapons spawning an orb of power instead. And then you have Stun Loader, which partially refills the magazine when stunning a champion. Then they go on to talk about the new weapons coming with Episode 2 Revenant. First up here, we have an entire breakdown of all of the seasonal weapons coming with Episode 2, and they give a list of all of their perks. So we're going to jump into here now. Insurmountable, a void precision frame sidearm with repulsor brace, 2 to pain, threat detector, attrition orbs, demolitionist, and air trigger, and then followed by destabilizing rounds, desperate measures, 1 for all, surrounded, rampage, and harmony, with 2 additional redacted perks. Sovereignty, void adaptive frame sniper rifle, sorry if I'm saying that name wrong, comes with explosive payload, discord, reconstruction, enlightened action, no distractions, demolitionist, and strategist. And then harmony, desperate measures, precision instrument, redacted, box breathing, adrenaline junkie, and firing line. Then they have red tape, which is a stasis lightweight frame scout rifle with 3 redacted perks alongside keep away, attrition orbs, 4th times the charm, and envious assassin, alongside headstone, high impact reserves, focus fury, 1 for all, explosive payload, harmony, and rampage. Then you have vantage point and arc adaptive frame pulse rifle with keep away, stats for all, deconstruct, to the pain, and feeding frenzy, followed by Volt Shot, 1 for all, high impact reserves, desperate measures, multi-kill clip, swashbuckler, and headseeker, alongside some redactive perks. Then you have Exuvia, a stasis aggressive frame hand cannon with triple tap, to the pain, encore, stats for all, and outlaw, followed by headstone, precision instrument, desperate measures, adrenaline junkie, redirection, harmony, 1 for all, and then some more redacted stuff. Then you have bittersweet and arc adaptive frame grenade launcher with reverberation, strategist, stats for all, unrelenting, perpetual motion, attrition orbs, loose change, and then cascade point, explosive light, bait and switch, harmony, killing, tally, and frenzy. And then finally, you have Liturgy, a stasis double fire frame grenade launcher with envious assassin, overflow, reconstruction, pugilist, slideways, surplus, and then chill clip, harmony, lead from gold, swashbuckler, chain reaction, desperate measures, and 1 for all. Now, one thing to note is that not all of these weapons will be available with Act 1's launch. My guess is that some of these will obviously be behind the Act 2 and Act 3 release. So I'm guessing that the sniper, grenade launchers, pulse rifle, sidearm, and hand cannon are all going to be inside of Act 1. Next, they're going to talk about the seasonal weapon crafting update. So obviously, they went to state on in the live stream that these weapons are not going to be craftable, and they echoed that here, stating that none of these weapons will actually be craftable, wanting us to actually play to actually get the rewards, similar to the way that we did inside of Into the Light update. But to go alongside that, they're also going to be reprising the Garden of Salvation raid weapons. These weapons will be craftable, and they're going to get some brand new perks and some little changes in terms of damage types as well. So Reckless Oracle, Void, Rapid Fire Frame Auto gets Destabilizing Rounds and Paracausal Affinity. Accured Redemption, Kinetic Precision Bow, receives Offhand Strike and Archer's Gambit. Zealot's Reward, a Void Rapid Fire Frame Fusion Rifle, gets Destabilizing Rounds and Reservoir Burst. Ancient Gospel, a now Void Adaptive Frame Hand Cannon, can receive Rampage and Kill Clip. Sacred Provenance, Kinetic Aggressive Frame Pulse, can get Demolitionist and Kinetic Tremors. Prophet of Doom, Arc Precision Shotgun, Threat Remover and Volt Shot. And then Omniscient Eye, Solar Rapid Fire Frame Sniper, can now get 4 times the Charm and Precision Instrument. And once again, those weapons will be craftable. Moving on to even more weapons that you can see here, one might stick out to you more than others. In terms of pursuit weapon, there's going to be the Fair Judgment Stasis Precision Auto Rifle. For Crucible, you're going to get the Anonymous Autumn Arc Lightweight Sidearm. Competitive will receive the Deadlock Stasis Precision Frame Shotgun. Vanguard Ops will get the Wicked Sister Strand Adaptive Grenade Launcher. Nightfalls will see Rank Angel, I'm dumb and don't know what that is. Stasis Aggressive Glaive. And then also the Plug 1 Arc Precision Fusion Rifle. And then Gambit will receive the Bygones Kinetic Adaptive Frame Pulse Rifle, which I'm very excited to see what perks that can go with. And then also here, a preview of brand new Iron Banner armor for the Titan on the left, Warlock in the middle, and Hunter on the right, as well as some info on some new weapons coming with Iron Banner this episode. So you have Tenashi's Mastery, which is a Stasis Rocket Frame Sidearm with Air Trigger, Offhand Strikes, Deconstruct, Enlightened Action, Impulse Amplifier, Loose Change, and Reverberation, followed by Adagio, Bait and Switch, Chill Clip, Desperate Measures, Frenzy, One for All, and Surrounded. And then Archon's Thunder, a Stasis high-impact machine gun with Air Trigger, Enlightened Action, Dynamic Sway, Envious Assassin, 4 times the Charm, and high-impact reserves, with Desperate Measures, Onslaught, Headstone, Killing Tally, Tap Trigger, Target Lock, and Rewind rounds, and a redacted perk there in that third column as well. Then they talk about some fixes coming to ornaments, the updates to the Inverted Spire Strike, the first ever Discord quest thing for Destiny, where you'll be able to play Destiny 2 on Discord for 15 minutes to get a brand new shader. And then there's a Hurricane Helen support note here as well. And that is pretty much everything for this TWID, a very long one. I did my best to make this as short as possible, but there was a lot of info here. But if I missed anything or you want to go into more detail on stuff, links in the description to this article can be found below. And yeah, that's basically it for today's video. Last note here, you have the update on Monday for downtime stuff, claim seasonal rewards, all that. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, remember to leave a like and subscribe. That's it from me here today. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.